Hey guys, what's up? It's Frostbite, and I'm here today bringing you an episode of Minecraft. If you guys have not heard of Minecraft, you guys are missing out. It's a great game. It is on PC, Xbox, and I believe it just released for the PS4. So, whatever console you have it on, PC, Xbox, or PS3, go and get it. It's a great game, fantastic, and this is basically just going to be a tutorial on how to get the first right foot into this game. It's kind of complicated when you first start out, but as soon as you get the ropes down, it's really easy and really fun to do. You can actually go in with your friends if you have it on Xbox. It's a lot easier than PC, at least in my situation. I'll explain that in a second. But you can go in, and just like every other game, you can invite them in. You guys can make a town, you can make a castle, you can make anything you want. It's really up to whatever you guys want to do. I have several worlds with my other friends, but this is going to be the first one that I'm going to record. I'm going to start off solo, and then I'm going to slowly add in my friends. Try and get you guys into it as much as I am. And, yeah, let's start. Also, guys, remember, after this video, if you want to go and pick up the game, you can get it on PS3, Xbox 360, and PC for $20 around the board. Mojang's been really good with that, keeping this game cheap. It's an arcade game on the Xbox 360, which you can download off XBLA. You can go to the PSN store and download it for 20 bucks, I believe, and also on PC. Okay, guys, so the first thing that you're going to do, if you have purchased it on any platform, the first option it'll give you is to create a new world. Now, if you go in to create a new world, it'll give you an option for a world name, a seed for the world generator, the game mode to be either survival or creative, the difficulty, and there's some more options that you can add if you do choose so. Basically, the world name is whatever file you want to put it under if it's in PC, or whatever you want the world to be called on your PS3 and or Xbox One. Doesn't have any effect on the gameplay, it's just whatever you want to call it, you're just naming it. And as far as the seed goes, there are certain seeds that you can put it on PC that will affect the game. If you go and Google different seeds for Minecraft, there's certain things you can do. I haven't dabbled with it, but I heard of it a lot. On the Xbox, I'm not exactly sure of any seeds that you can put in that would do the same as PC. I'm not exactly sure. I usually don't dabble with that. I usually just do create a new world as the button in the bottom. But that is an option if you do choose so. Now to game mode. This is a big part of whether you want to actually create a world or you want to go and build a world. Now I know those sound exactly the same, but listen. If you start up on survival, that's basically you start out with nothing and you try and go and make a way for yourself. Creative is when you go in and you are given everything. This is what I like to call build mode, where you basically get every single block in the game and you can just go and build whatever you want, do whatever you want, and you can go and fly, you can have friends, you can make huge castles, huge arenas, race courses, whatever you want. But survival is basically seeing what you can do against the elements, trying to see if you can fend off for yourself. I think that's personally more fun and more entertaining than going into creative and building something, because usually building things take a long time for a cool end product. So for now, I'm just going to start survival, but whatever you guys want to do, have fun. Now with the texture packs. They just started implementing the texture packs into the Xbox 360, and I'm not exactly sure on the PS3 if they have that or not. I believe they do, but so far in the Xbox 360, they have the original texture pack, which is basically if you bought the vanilla version, it's what it would come in. And if you look at the picture on the bottom right, as I scroll over, it changes the style of what these blocks look like and everything in the world. That's basically what a texture pack does. It doesn't change the game at all, except for the way it looks. That's all it does. Now on the PC, there is so many different variations of texture packs you can do. It is unbelievable. If you go in and search Minecraft texture pack, whatever, there's probably a search for it. I know on the PC myself, I have at least 8 or 9 that I use. Some look really nice and some don't, because they're user created, but these are all created by Mojang himself and produced by the company, so they're usually going to be themed. Like this one is Mass Effect, this one is a plastic texture pack, supposed to be more playful, this one is a Skyrim one, and this one is a fantasy texture pack, basically generalizing like things like Fable and Final Fantasy and things that might look like that, and they're trying to replicate the look of other games, which I think is nice. But as far as texture packs go, the PC definitely beat it by far. And now onto the infamous more options. If you go into this menu, it's a lot like other options menu in any other game that you'll play. It'll give you certain things that you can change throughout the game. If you want to add things, take away things, just your average options menu. Now there are some things in this game that are specific to Minecraft, not in any other games, which I'm going to explain now. First on the list is trust players. If you do not check this box, it will not give them the ability to place and or destroy any of the blocks that you have placed down in your world. So if you uncheck that box, it is basically just saying that they're spectating. They cannot alter the world in any other way, so it's a safe way for your friends to come in and not have them destroy anything, which if you have friends like mine, becomes very, very helpful. TNT explosions. In this game, you can make TNT and light it in various ways. If you uncheck this box and you light TNT and it ends up exploding, nothing will actually happen and no damage will be taken to the surroundings. But if you check this box, just like TNT, it will explode its surroundings. And now for option 3, host privileges. I'm going to leave this box unchecked for now, just because I want to show you the ropes the simple way. This is something you can add if you're the host of your game that you're in. You can fly, you can disable exhaustion, which means that when you're running in this game, if you run for a certain amount of time, your person will start to slow down and pant. So you can disable that function if you put on host privileges. And you can also make yourself invisible if you're in an online game with other players. And down to the world options. These options are basically specific to the world and will not change anything after the generation of the world at all in this game. So this option will actually go away after you've loaded up the game. Generating structures means that you basically wanted to have caverns, mountains, hills, plains. You just want to make it a randomly generated world just like real life. Now, super flat world people usually use for creative mode because it gives them a huge canvas just to do whatever they want on, and it becomes very helpful sometimes. And now down to the last option called bonus chest. This is one of the sooner implementations to the game, which basically when you spawn out, it'll give you a few basic materials such as sticks, wood, some wooden planks, and maybe even some food. The world that I'm going to start off with is Frostbite. I'm not going to have a seed. The game mode is going to be survival. I'm going to stick with the original texture pack. I'm going to go on normal difficulty. The more options are what you see here. And for now, I'm going to create a new world in a second, and I'm going to show you guys the ropes. And since I said it would take a few minutes, I'm going to come back when it's loaded up. I'll see you guys there. Now the game's just loaded up, and the first thing that you want to do is look around and try and find, mine is over here, try and find a bonus chest. Now, what is probably the most helpful thing about this chest is the torches surrounding it, because it is sometimes kind of hard to find coal, and those can be really helpful. When you actually open the chest, you'll look in, and this is typically what you'll see. Just a few pieces of food, some wood, and a couple sticks. Now, you could go in and drag this all over here, get this wood, drag it down here, get this wood, stack it with that one. But sometimes it's usually easier just to go up to any block, and in this case the chest, go, and if you hold right trigger on the Xbox 360 controller, right trigger on the PS3 controller, or the left click on the PC mouse, then that will actually break the block that you're pointing at. It'll usually highlight it in a thin black outline like that. Blocks look different, and you go in and it'll show the progress on you breaking it, and then you can go and place it after you've picked it up from that little thing. That little thing is what will come out of whatever you break. Usually some things like grass will not give you anything, but things like dirt, stone, and other items will drop a small block. You go over it and you'll automatically collect it as long as there's space in your inventory, which I will show you now. If you press Y, it'll actually show you your current skin, which I'll show you how to change in a second, your options for armor, and a 3x9 box that you can hold your items in. There is also a 1-row 9x1 column that you can put in your hotbar, which you can change if you press Y again. If you press the bumpers, at least for the Xbox 360, if you scroll up or down with the scroll wheel, or if you use the other bumpers on the PS3 controller, you will switch between items in your hotbar, and those are the only things that you can place and or destroy with. If you press Y again, you can go in, say I move this wood up to the top bar, it now empties that slot and it'll just show my hand. Step number 4 in this game, you're going to want to go ahead and make a house. The normal house you're going to want to make is out of wood. It doesn't matter what kind of wood. I think there's 4 different types. But wherever you spawn, you can go down, chop down the nearest tree, and get some wood. The first thing you want to do is, instead of making it out of your actual wood planks, like this, you want to go in, and if you press X or square, I believe, or E on the computer. I believe that's it. If you go into any of those three and you press A over this, it'll actually turn these into wooden planks. Makes a lot more and makes it look a lot better, I believe, in my opinion anyway. But it gives you a lot more blocks to build with, and you can actually make a decent house. When you've got enough planks and you're done building your house, you can go ahead and make something that looks kind of like this. Doesn't have to be extravagant for now, but as you start to collect more materials and get more different things than wooden planks, you can make your house look a lot nicer and a lot bigger, a lot cooler, and it'll hold a lot more stuff. Now, this is where the torches come in handy that you got at the beginning of the video that surrounded your bonus chest. See, this room is dark. You go up. If you have the torch in your hand and you press the left trigger on either of the controllers or the left mouse click, it'll place it and it'll emit light. You usually want to put them in all four corners. That's why they give you 4 torches surrounding the bonus chest at the beginning. Now, if you click the left trigger on the chest, it'll actually open up the chest, and it's the same exact size as your inventory. So everything in this box can fit up here. Now, a quick pro tip: if you hover over the item that you want in the chest and you press Y, it'll automatically move it into the first slot into the chest. You can actually go super fast if you click hard enough and go back and forth fast enough, and it's very easy to fill and it's very convenient. Instead of having to go and say go up here, then drag it down, and go up here and drag it down, you just press the Y button and it goes back into your chest. Now, I understand there is no Y button on the keyboard, but if you press Shift and click on the object of interest, it'll actually do the same thing as pressing Y on the controller. Now guys, listen up, because what I'm about to show you is very important to the game, and you will need it for the entire game of Minecraft. If you go in and press X on your controller, holding nothing in your hand, and you go and shimmy over to the crafting table, as long as you have 4 planks of any type of wood and you press A, it'll turn that into a crafting table. Now this, you place down anywhere just like your chest, and it looks like this. If you left click, just like the chest also, it'll bring up a lot more options of what you can make. In the PC version, this will be a lot more relevant because your workspace, if you look at the bottom left part of the screen, it actually has a 3x3 square, and if you recognized before, I will go back to it now, if you press X, not pointing at the crafting table, you only have a 2x2 square. Now this 3x3 square actually makes a ton of difference because this will either make or break the option to build certain things that you may need to hurry. Okay guys, that's the end of part 1. I'm going to be coming out with a few more parts that are going to go more in depth of things that I did not explain. Hopefully I gave you enough tips and tricks to get through your first night of Minecraft, enough to make a pretty decent house and get some new material. Guys, also, if I told you something and it didn't work the way that you thought it would, or it didn't work the way that it happened on screen, please let me know. I may have misspoke, and I don't want to give you guys any false information, so leave it in the comments, and if you do, I will try to respond and tell you guys what I did wrong.